is a great profession. There is a satisfaction of watching a figment of the imagination emerge through the aid of science to a plan on paper. Then it moves to realization in stone or metal or energy. It brings jobs and homes to many. It elevates the standard of living and adds to the comforts of life. That is the engineer's high privilege. The techno king of Tesla and founder of SpaceX, Elon Musk, has said, engineering is the closest thing to magic that exists in the world. And what a wonderful feeling it is today to be in a room full of magic makers and nation builders, the engineers. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural session of the 11th Engineers Conclave, being held from 26th to 27th September 2024 at Defense Research and Development Laboratory, DRDL, Hyderabad. The Engineers Conclave is being organized by the Indian National Academy of Engineering, INAE, and the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDL, is a principal sponsor. The two major themes of the conclave are additive manufacturing for defense applications and defense manufacturing technologies. Before we set the ball rolling for the inaugural session, it is a matter of immense pride for me to invite to the dais certain distinguished personalities who have kindly consented to be with us here today. First and foremost, I would like to invite to the dais our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Inaugural, former President, INAE, Chancellor, Holy Baba National Institute, Member, Atomic Energy Commission, and Chairman, Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission. And I request Sri U. Raja Babu, Director General, Missiles and Strategic Systems, to kindly accompany him. Thank you, sir. I now request our guest of honor, Dr. Sunny Kamat, Secretary, Department of Defense R&D and Chairman DRDL, to kindly take a seat on the dais. And I request Engineer Srinivas Murthy, the Student Scientist Director of DRDL, to accompany him. Thank you. I now invite to the dais Professor Inaugural Manna, President, INAE, along with Dr. Jaydeep Joshi, Convener, Engineers Conclave 2024 and Program Director, DRDL. Thank you. We grow plants for many reasons: to please our eyes and to please our souls, to challenge the elements or to challenge our patience, but mostly for the joy of seeing them grow. We would like to welcome our dignitaries on the dais with beautiful plants, which we hope will be a source of joy to them as they watch them bloom. First and foremost, a stunning plant to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Anil Kakurkar. Thank you. A mesmerizing sapling to our guest of honor, Dr. Sunny Kamat, Secretary, Department of Defense R&D and Chairman, DRDL. Thank you. A spellbinding plant to Professor Engineer Manna, President, INAE. Thank you. A gorgeous plant to Sri U. Raja Babu, Director General, Missiles and Strategic Systems, DRDL. Thank you. A spectacular sampling to Sri G. Srinivas Murthy, Distinguished Scientist and Director, DRDL. last but not the least, a smashing sampling to Dr. Jaydev R. Joshi, Program Director DRDL and Convener, Engineers Conclave 2024. Thank you. Deepam Jyoti Parabrahma, Deepam Sarvapurnaha, Deepena Satyadesarvam, Sarvadipam. I prostrate to the dawn dusk man, whose light is supreme knowledge, which removes the darkness of ignorance, and by which power can be achieved. I now request our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Anand Kakurkar, to kindly light the lamp of knowledge, and I request all the dignitaries on the days to accompany him. Engineers Conclave is an annual mega event organized by the Indian National Academy of Engineering, INAE, jointly with major engineering institutes of the country on rotation basis. This year, it is a Defence Research and Development Organization, DRDL, that has taken over the reins of conducting this conclave along with INAE. I now request the host of the event, Sri G.S. Srinivasamurthy, Distinguished Scientist and Director DRDL, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
A very good morning to you all. I welcome the Chief Guest of today's event, Dr. Anand Kakurkar, former President, INAE, and President Professor Inaugural, President INAE, Dr. Samir Kamath, DRD, Secretary DRD and the Chairman DRDO, Sri Inaugural, DGMSS, and my dear Joshi, Program Director, and all DGs from DRDO and laboratories directors from DRDO, and other dignitaries from various parts of the country. I extend my warm welcome to you all for today's event of Engineers Conclave 2024. It is actually fortunate for me to be here to receive you all for the great event, and I wish all the participants will take part very actively in this. Today's subject is the most hot topic in our current technologies, is additive manufacturing for defense applications. Now all of us know that additive manufacturing has brought about revolution really in the world of manufacturing. And DRDL and of course the DRDO also have taken various steps to promote these technologies, interacting with various education institutions, various industries, and started manufacturing using this technology. And our most of the projects components started already, we have already started manufacturing the components using these technologies. And we have already recently done a project with IIT Hyderabad, which is in a very good shape. Typical components like engine, scramjet engine of one of the missiles we are doing at IIT Hyderabad, and also we are interacting with the IISc and many other education premium education institutes across the country to promote these technologies. And I am very happy today's Engineers Conclave was telling a very good and fitting topic, the additive manufacturing in the defense technologies. And I wish and I also feel that all participants will take advantage and giving their valuable suggestions and ideas to promote these technologies and to make the country proud and take the country forward ahead of many other countries. Thank you very much for giving me for accepting our invitation and participating here. I once again extend a warm welcome to all dignitaries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. DRDL is a part of the cluster of missiles and strategic systems. The cluster is responsible for the design and development of state-of-the-art systems required for deterrence and defense of the country. It works to empower the nation with systems and technologies for missile-based weapon systems deployable from underwater to outer space. And I request Sri U. Rajababu, distinguished scientist and Director General Missiles and Strategic Systems, to kindly address the audience.
Dr. Arun Kapoor, Chief Guest of today's meeting, Dr. Samir Nikam, Secretary DRDL, Dr. Inaugural, President INAE, Sri Srinivas Murthy, Dr. DRDL, Dr. Jaideep Joshi, Convener for today's event, distinguished guests, the industry partners and friends. It is a matter of pride for all of us in the missile complex to host the 11th edition of the Engineers Conclave. We all know how important this conclave is, because we need to dwell on two very important topics which are going to shape the future of our country, and where we will find applications spanning from not only for the missiles, space, and many other areas. And it is our privilege to host it in the lab, which has driven the development of missile technologies led by Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. Starting from the scratch, today we almost become self-reliant in all the missile systems, so we be tactical or strategic. This has been possible due to invention of many advanced technologies, and I am sure today's deliberations are going to take this a step forward. There is a famous saying we used to find in the class. Nowadays I don't think it. They say that engineers make the world. It is true. We can't imagine a life without engineering applications. While science brings in the ideas and the required knowledge, but actual applications and the transforming them for the benefit of the humankind is always a technology and engineering. So it is our privilege to have all the very distinguished guests here who are going to contribute in the two very important areas. From in our laboratories also we started working on these areas. Coming into additive manufacturing, of course, we started a few years back, but in a very short time we have made applications which are quite significant. Two of applications I am very glad to know. The recent MIRA trial which happened a few months back, the thrusters were realized through additive manufacturing process. The normal time which which used to take months, has been reduced to a week's time, couple of weeks, thereby making the mission possible in the shortest possible time. Not only this, we have many critical applications. We have other systems like a cluster of valves, which used to occupy almost a small section of the missile. But they are being clustered into one block, where all the connections were made and then all the pilot operated blocks were made to one block itself. And thereby giving a great saving in the space and also reducing the timeline. Like this, we have many applications on which we started working on additive manufacturing. But again, one of the limitations what we find is the availability of basic raw material, the powders. We are looking forward to more and more compositions so that we will be able to realize the components with whatever compositions we are looking for the typical applications. Second point, what we generally find is the finish of the components. So if we can have the additive manufacturing techniques where we can use, where we don't have to again go for post-processing or post-machining, especially for getting a better surface finish, that will be a great boon for all of us. I am sure with so many intellectuals sitting in this hall who are going to work on this, we are going to get solutions into all these things. Second important thing on which today's deliberations are going to happen is the manufacturing technologies and even materials. The country has made a great progress in having our own materials. We have not only a material research lab available in Hyderabad and also the production facilities. Through Nidani, we are able to advance we are able to realize many advanced materials. While we are able to meet many of applications, still development of some of the materials is still a bit far away. And second challenge what we face is availability of materials. Today, the country is going with the government's theme of Atmanirbharta. The real Atmanirbharta comes when we become independent in manufacturing technologies. For that, we need materials, we need technologies, and we need production capabilities through which we can produce systems in large numbers. But for this, we need to realize all these materials indigenously within the country. But today still, majority of materials are imported. The couple of the reasons what are cited by our industry partners are, one is our MOQs are very, very small. They said if you want to order material, you have to order it once. Whereas some of the industry partners complain that your requirement is only a couple of tons, whereas you require a batch rate of much larger things. And the second is the cost. One complaint what we have is our indigenous cost of realizing materials indigenously is slightly higher when compared to the imported stores. While certain percent can always be probably margin can be given, but I think the production house always wants to maximize in the terms that whatever competitive whatever little margins they would like to close this. And unless I think we have the real usage of the materials also, even the very strategic materials, be it marine steel or titanium, whatever materials or composites or ceramics, unless we find the real use of these materials, wherein the requirement grows up and then we are able to produce much larger quantities, probably the cost differential will remain. I am sure the today's deliberations, these issues will be addressed, and after a couple of days, I think after 2 hours, we will have very answers to solution. Once again, I take this opportunity to welcome all the dignitaries to Missile Complex and hope we will get immensely benefited with your deliberations here and guidance which is going to come tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Before I invite Representative Member, President INAE from this address, I would like to say a few words about INAE. The International Academy of Engineering, INAE, founded in 1987, spectrum of engineering disciplines. INAE functions as an ethics body and promotes the practice of engineering and technology for their application to solve the problems of national importance. The Academy also provides a forum for futuristic planning and brings together specialists from such fields as may be necessary for comprehensive solutions to the needs of the country. I now request the current president of INAE, Professor Inaugural, renowned academician and prolific researcher, to deliver his presidential address.
One complaint what we have is our indigenous cost of realizing materials indigenously is slightly higher when compared to the imported source. Well, certain percent can always be probably margin can be given, but I think the production comes always needs to maximize in the terms that whatever competitive whatever little margins they would like to close this. And unless I think we have the air usage of the materials also, even the very strategic materials, be it marine steel or titanium, whatever materials are composites or ceramics, unless we find the real use of these materials, wherein the requirement grows up and then we are able to produce much larger quantities, probably the cost differential will remain. I am sure the today's regulations, these issues will be addressed, and after a couple of days, I think after 2 hours, we will have many answers to solution. Once again, I take this opportunity to welcome all the dignitaries to Missile Complex and hope we will get immensely benefited with your deliberations here and guidance which is going to come right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Before I invite Professor Inaugural, President INAE, for this address, I would like to say a few words about INAE. The International Academy of Engineering, INAE, founded in 1987, comprises India's most distinguished engineers, engineer scientists, and technologists, covering the entire spectrum of engineering disciplines. INAE functions as an ethics body and promotes the practice of engineering and technology for their application to solve the problems of national importance. The Academy also provides a forum for futuristic planning and brings together specialists from such fields as may be necessary for comprehensive solutions to the needs of the country. I now request the current president of INAE, Professor Inaugural, renowned academician and prolific researcher, to deliver his presidential address.
Dr. Kapoor, the honored chief guest of today's function, Dr. Samir Kumar, Chairman DRDL and Secretary DRDL, Dr. Srinivas Murthy, Dr. Raja, Dr. Jyoti Joshi, Dr. Dr. Suresh, the former President, Dr. Mishra, Mr. Patil, Mr. Shivaji Chakravarti, other very eminent delegates present here in this crowd, and I'm told there is a parallel streaming going on in another venue. Fellows of the Academy, distinguished scientists and engineers of the country, friends, it's indeed an honor to welcome you all to the 11th edition of Engineers Conclave. We are an academy devoted to the cause of engineering. Obviously, by profession, we are all engineers. And this conclave, which started 2013, over 10 years ago, was designed to create a platform where we can rotate the venue from one place to another, from one organization or industry to another, so that we deliberate upon very specific themes, one chosen by the host, another proposed by INAE, and then come up with actionable recommendations. We just heard the anchor saying in the beginning that last 20 years said that engineering is the closest to magic. Magic or not, this is a profession. Right from the very day when humankind first learned the art of living by creating a habitat out of a cave or designing a wheel to move around. Since then, engineering has been a profession to find an answer to the human aspirations and needs. So engineering is all about providing solutions. In an engineers conclave, we exactly do that. We deliberate on the technology gap that current established and forecast what remains ahead. And when we do that, we obviously do not ignore the importance of fundamental science. We live in an era which is knowledge-driven era, not by sheer power. The power of the strength comes from knowledge, and that knowledge never starts, never ends. It always continues. So we alight the vehicle at a point of time and take the technology ahead. So I'm very glad personally that we have chosen topics which are manufacturing related. In today's world, most of the solutions we hear about, which are very well celebrated and marketed, are mostly on a digital platform, virtual solutions, or at least approaches of virtual. When we talk of defense technologies, of course, there is immense need for various digital platform and their designs, but we actually get to see physical objects, starting from a huge missile-bound aircraft, all the way to a submarine or even miniature items like what DRDL has here, all these design of chips and components and sensors. This is the hour of this is the need of the hour. Why? It's because of one single reason. India is the home for about 1/5 of the humanity. We are the 5th largest economy in the world. The Prime Minister has reminded us two very important messages. Number one, the contribution to the $4.1 trillion economy should be strengthened by making major strides in manufacturing. Probably at the moment we contribute somewhere around 5 to 20%, but the goal set for us is to go up to 30%. So there are countries in the world like Israel, Japan, South Korea, who are aiming or have crossed even 40% of contribution to their GDP coming from manufacturing. That's not quite happening, but should happen. And should happen because of the other mandate pronounced by the Honorable Prime Minister that India by 2047 should emerge as Viksit Bharat, developed nation. Now on one hand, we are immensely proud by the major achievements made by the strategic departments like space, atomic energy, defense. We are immensely proud that we are, in this country, we house some of the largest industries in the whole world, the largest forging company, the second largest steel manufacturer, third largest automobile manufacturing units, and so on and so forth. But on the flip side, whenever we count the progress of the country per capita in terms of energy consumption, habitat, our consumption of steel, and various other standard indices in the developed nations, we have realized that we have miles to go. The majority of these issues, be it energy, transportation, road, defense, whether cyber or physical, climate, environment, water, all these issues are of engineering origin. So it is, therefore, engineering has to play a very major role for the progress and development of the country. And if we really wish to achieve the target before us, that India should emerge as a developed nation by 2047, then there's no escape from engineering. So, whether engineering is a magic or not, engineering is the profession that's going to take us forward. And in this journey, Indian National Academy of Engineering, the only engineering building of the country, which is not compared to some of the science academies, we are only 37 plus years old. We are committed to provide very vital input to the planning and execution of the engineering projects in the country. For those of you who are not fully initiated about INAE, let me just share with you that we were established in 1987. We covered the entire 360 degree of engineering and technology, divided into 10 engineering sections. We draw our strength from 3 major quarters: the industry, the academic world, and the R&D organizations. In fact, in this hall, I see many former secretaries of defense, atomic energy, or space, or all these important organizations. All of them are fellows of the academy. In fact, suffice to say that none other than Dr. Kalam, likes of Dr. Kalam, Dr. Arunachalam, Professor Rama Rao, all the names that we can easily identify as the faces of engineering in this country, they were our former presidents. But with 963 fellows in the country and 103 abroad, it automatically conveys a message that we are extremely quality conscious, and we should be like that. But at the same time, for a country of 1.4 billion people, just having 1,000 professionals directly associated as fellows to the academy is not enough. We have come to realize that we must embrace much larger number of professionals engaged in engineering technology into our fold, into the academy. So the Governing Council recently has approved a proposal to create a new cadre called members of INAE. And these members actually could be of 3 types: the corporates, the institutions, and individuals. And even individuals could be fairly senior ones with more than 10 years of experience, could be associates who are in between 5 and 10 years of experience, and the younger ones, the junior ones, who have just earned a degree of engineering. So INAE now is very seriously pursuing this, and I would like to use this platform to make an appeal to all those professionals who are very well engaged in engineering and technology to consider enrolling yourself as a member of the academy, for which all the details will be available with all your DRDL organizations. I will be failing in my duty if I do not acknowledge and record our deepest appreciation to Dr. Samir Kamath, in particular, Dr. Joshi, and many others from the fold of the DRDL. Every year, we organize 4 major calendar events in succession: National Frontiers of Engineering, targeting much younger, the youngest group of the engineering profession; Youth Conclave, the middle-rank professionals; Engineers Conclave, which is for the industry and established professionals; and we end with the annual convention. And we rotate from one venue to another, from one organization to another. We are extremely grateful that the very first event of Engineers Conclave was steered by DRDL. In fact, Dr. Suresh just reminded me that Dr. Avinash Chandra was a key person at that particular event. And we're extremely glad that this time, all I had to do was to make one request over phone to Dr. Kamal, requesting him whether DRDL would be willing to host this year's Engineers Conclave. And then the message was passed on to Judge Joshi, and that's all. Then the magic happened. which is why we are all here. And I certainly would like to place on record our deepest gratitude for making such a perfect and excellent arrangement. We are looking forward to having very important deliberations today and tomorrow. The things are going to be very busy for us because there are multiple parallel events going to happen in the sidelines. And I must say that INAE actually has a lot of activities in association with organizations like DRDL, DST, ISRO, DAE and so on. We go to consultative committees and we deliberate and come up with certain projects or initiatives. So today afternoon, will someone manage to find time to sit together and then see how DRDL and INAE can get together and do something even more meaningful for the benefit of the country. I won't take any further time. I'm sure all of you are waiting to hear Dr. Kapoorkar. Would just like to thank you all for joining this event, and we all would expect that defense technologies and defense manufacturing technologies and additive manufacturing, which is essentially an emerging area but already has made a big name, big strides. We all would like to hear what lies ahead to provide tangible solutions for the country to make India a developed nation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. DRDL is the R&D wing of the Ministry of Defence, Government of India, with a vision to empower India with cutting-edge defence technologies and a mission to achieve Atmanirbharta in critical defence technologies and systems. DRDL's successful indigenous development and production of strategic systems and platforms, radars and electronic warfare systems have given a quantum jump to India's military might, generating effective deterrence and providing crucial leverage. Ably leading this mighty organization is Dr. Samir Vikamat, Secretary, Department of Defence R&D and Chairman DRDO. I request Dr. Samir Vikamat, guest of honor, to kindly address the gathering.
Dr. Kapoorkar, Professor Manna, dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries in the audience, and ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you, and I'm indeed very happy to be here on the 11th Engineers Conclave. In fact, there are so many luminaries in this room that I don't think we need any lights. So when Professor Manna called me to say whether DRDO can arrange or work with INAE to host this event, I had no hesitation in accepting. And I chose Hyderabad as the venue because Hyderabad today is a hub for manufacturing in the country. There are so many research organizations here. You have very good academic institutions, you have PSUs, and you have private sector. So in fact, this is the perfect venue to host such an event. When it came to choosing the theme, INAE left the choice of one theme to us, and they said they will choose the second theme. But it so happened that theme 1 is actually a subset of theme 2. So additive manufacturing, which is theme 1, is going to be a very important theme for defense sector. This is one area where we have a chance to achieve leadership. If we work together and we establish the entire ecosystem in additive manufacturing, we have a very good chance to achieve technology leadership. our Honorable Prime Minister, whenever we have a chance to meet him, says that India should become not only Atmanirbhar, India should become a technology leader, a manufacturer not only for the country, but a manufacturer for the entire world. And that can happen only if we have leadership. So it's very good that we have all the bright heads of the country sitting here. I hope that in the coming 2 days, we are able to chart out a roadmap which is actionable and take the country to the deserved position in the Committee of Nations. If you see, India is the only large economy which transitioned from agriculture to services without going through the manufacturing step. Today, our manufacturing is only 16% of our GDP. And our Prime Minister has laid us a target that over the next 5 to 10 years, it should reach 24% of our GDP. And this can only happen if we adapt new technologies, not only additive manufacturing, but the second theme, such as Industry 4.0, smart manufacturing, Internet of Things in our manufacturing processes. But I am very confident after I have visited various industries and startups within the country that the transformation is happening very rapidly. The capabilities that I see in our industry today is far greater than what was available even 5 to 10 years back. In fact, I have visited factories in countries such as France, UK, and I feel sometimes that our manufacturing capability is even better than theirs. I have not had a chance to visit China, but maybe we are not there when we compare ourselves to China. But if we compare ourselves to Europe, I think we are ahead of them. So I think conclave such as this gives us an opportunity to put all our thoughts together and see what is the road ahead. So my best wishes to all of you for very successful deliberations over the next 2 days. And I thank INAE for choosing DRDL to conduct this conclave. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Long after the dust has settled on this conclave, it is a souvenir that will serve as a ready reference for all information related to the conclave and will help us recollect its highlights. I now request our chief guest, Dr. INAE Engineers, to kindly release the souvenir of the Engineers Conclave 2024. Anticipated moment of this inaugural session, the address by our chief guest, Dr. INAE Engineers. Dr. INAE Engineers is a luminary who needs absolutely no introduction to this community. He is a former President, INAE, Chancellor, Homi Bhabha National Institute, member, Atomic Energy Commission, Chairman, Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission, Government of Maharashtra, and former Chairman, Atomic Energy Commission. For his immense contributions to the nation, He has been conferred with the Padma Vibhushan in 2009. I now invite our Chief Guest, Dr. Anil Kakurkar, to deliver his inaugural address.
Professor Engineer Manna, Shri Raja Babu, Shri Srinivas Murthy, my good friend Dr. Jaideep Joshi, past presidents of INAE, Dr. Goel, Dr. Suresh who are present here, the entire fellowship of INAE present here, participants to this 11th Engineers Conclave, ladies and gentlemen. This conclave devoted to manufacturing, of course manufacturing will focus on defense sector, but by and large devoted to manufacturing, reminds me of an anecdote. When I joined Atomic Energy, of course all strategic department, the task is you not only develop the systems but see how to get them done, and so you have to engage with industry. And we used to often hear at that time, you go to industry, you talk something, and there was a big divide between people who talk new things and people who are deep-rooted in so-called traditional practices in manufacturing. So much so that if you go to their shop and talk, they will tell you have no shop floor experience. And I often wondered, what is the shop floor? But I found the floors are made of the same material everywhere. So there is this, or there was this cultural gap, which I'm sure all of you will agree with me, is closing progressively. We used to often call, for example, things like making steel, many people used to call it more an art than science. There are several things of machining, manufacturing, where we know the kind of master craftsmen without whom you couldn't do many things. And it's this combination of, call it skill and technology, or call it art and science, that is fast getting bridged. When it comes to additive manufacturing, it actually reminds me of whether this bridging has kind of crossed limits, in the sense that when you design a particular object, a particular product, of course you design it to meet the functional requirements, performance requirements, but you have to also design it for it to be manufacturable. And that was actually a very challenging thing when this divide was large. Now that this divide is getting bridged, I think that gap has considerably closed. I think today I dare say that manufacturing can address almost any requirement which designers may pose. I am seeing Dr. Patil nodding his head, so I am reminded of an episode in Lasantapur. And this was when I was doing Dhruva. I won't go into the detail, but there was a particular component and I knew it's difficult to manufacture. So I was sitting in L&T shop to discuss how this can be done. And it was quite difficult for even shop people. And they were very experienced, a lot of experience behind them. But they also found it difficult to explain to me how it could be done. And then I said, look, unless we know, we have clarity about how it will be done, how can we finalize the contract? And the answer was, don't worry, we'll hold the cat by its tail and rotate it and finish the job. And it was that stage to today when one has come to a point where, as I said earlier, one could design an object, not only design it for performance, but you design it for manufacturing right in the lab. The CAD-CAM, which is so mature thing today, and that data can be transmitted from the design office to the factory, or can be transmitted from the lab to a small manufacturing place in the remote village. And you can get a high-tech component done and delivered. That is the transformation. When you look at industry, today, I think it is at this moment largely a phenomena in the United States and China, but it's fast penetrating in other domains, including India, where the industry that makes maximum money, maximum value addition to economy, would be the industry what is known as research-led industry. So from hearing the term, you have no shop floor experience, things have come to a point when the most prominent industry, manufacturing industry or even other industries that contribute to economy or take the contribution to GDP from manufacturing sector to a present low number to high number, those industries will be research-led industries. And of course there are, manufacturing itself is changing its complexion, but with the new sciences becoming major drivers of economic activity and the digital technologies, the genetic based gene technologies, issues of cognition, these are all entering into industrial sector. And 3D printing or additive manufacturing, it actually has taken the lead in all this, and it's already there in terms of making a large contribution in terms of manufacturing. India has a special advantage here it's a well-proven and time-tested experience that anything high-tech that you do in an emerging economy where cost of living is still not very high, you will end up doing that high-tech at much lower price. A thumb rule is in India, if you do a high-tech job, you end up doing it at broadly half the price of Western world. And that's where we have a lot of advantage. And as we move forward towards these advanced technologies, for example, additive manufacture, I think we not only see the convergence of science, technology and engineering, but also we see a great opportunity in terms of our mission to realize India to be an advanced country or an average income of a common Indian compares well with the advanced nations of the world. That's what will make India Viksit Bharat. So that is the potential of this transition. Now, a conclave of this kind, so there are labs, there are industries who are making advances. In fact, most of the experience lies there. But nothing today can be done in isolation. Howsoever great one may be, but if one feels that I will do it alone, it's just not possible. Today are the days of creating ecosystem of diverse set of people with complementary capabilities. And as you go to high-tech, as you go to these advanced topics, this is becoming even more necessary. Now, as we evolve in our respective organizations, obviously we have, there is a continuity. We have old traditions, we have old ways of doing things. And at the same time, these new ideas are emerging. There are new needs of doing things differently. And to negotiate, to make sure that there are no difficulties in young people carrying forward their ideas, new ideas, forward in the midst of a whole set of very knowledgeable and experienced people, but most of them rooted in past. That is a challenge. We all know in our own organizations that creating opportunities for young people without creating too much of dissatisfaction among the old people is a challenge. Now you want to soften this challenge, you want to make sure that the creative young people do get the opportunity and the encouragement. I think an environment like this, a conclave, where the people who are, let's say, fellows of Academy of Engineering, who are the most distinguished people, and the fellowship has a large coverage, fairly wide spectrum of expertise. And should there be a connect between the work going on in the institutions, in the labs, particularly should there be a connect between the young people who are doing this work, the so-called game-changing transformation, and the people from the fellowship who can understand. I'm sure they will not be as good as those young people, but who can understand the importance, who can kind of see through the issues of taking such a thing forward and connect with the institutions at the right level to make sure that these young people and their mission to go ahead becomes somewhat smoother, somewhat easier. I think that itself will be a great contribution to, number one, making fast progress in respective missions that individuals are engaged in, but more importantly, enriching the innovation ecosystem which you often talk about. So to my mind, such conclaves are of great value, and we should use these opportunities for mutual benefit, because as far as the INAE is concerned, one would like to see the new things, one would like to look at solutions to challenges in taking new things forward, particularly from a policy perspective. Actually addressing the technology issues and all will be done by the institution themselves. But there are many things at policy level which I think an academy like INAE is better placed in taking the messages to the right quarters. So all in all, I think a conclave of this kind, while it looks at a specific issue, for example, manufacturing, that this conclave is focusing on, and kind of taking the country forward in the best possible manner. And I do hope that this particular conclave would actually be successful in achieving these kind of objectives. It also looks to me that in terms of several components that are involved, well, manufacturing in general, but specifically in the context of additive manufacture, I think the expertise that exists within the institutions around the country is, as was said earlier, is comparable with the best available anywhere. It's only a question of networking, it's only a question of coming together in a focused program, and I think the future is decidedly ours. So let me stop there and wish the conclave all success in their deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for a very inspiring and informative address. There is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Today, we would like to acknowledge the generous contributions of our wonderful sponsors to the stellar success of this event. I request our chief guest, Dr. Anil Kathodkar, to give away the mementos to our sponsors. I request the representatives of the companies to come forward as I call out the names. First and foremost, the principal sponsor, DRDL. I request Dr. Nomesh Kumar, if he is here, to come forward. And accept the memento on behalf of DRDO. Anyone from BrahMos can come forward and accept the memento. Dr. Raja Singh. And the next gold point sponsor is HAL. BDL. BML. And BEL. Anyone from BEL? The bronze sponsors are ECIL, Godrej, LMG, and ACE. Last but not the least, I request a representative of Objectify to come forward and collect the memento. Anyone from Objectify here? Thank you. Our experiences are the greatest mementos that we collect in our life. While it has been an enriching experience for all of us today to listen to the words of wisdom spoken by these brilliant minds on the days, we would like to present some mementos as a token of our deep gratitude to them. They have spent their valuable time with us and rendered this occasion immemorable. First and foremost, I request Dr. Samir Kamath and Professor Inaugural Manna to present a memento to Dr. Anand Kakodkar, our chief guest. Thank you. I now request Professor Inaugural Manna to present a memento to our guest of honor, Dr. Samir Kamath. INAE, Professor Inaugural Manna. Thank you, sir. An entire team working in synergy have given their hearts and souls to ensure the phenomenal success of this event. I would now like to request Dr. Jaideep R. Joshi, Program Director, DRDL, Convener Engineers Conclave 2024, and the man who has been instrumental in the organization of this event to propose the vote of thanks to all those who have made the flawless progress of this event a reality.
Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Anil Kakodkar, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, distinguished fellows of INAE, esteemed speakers, session chairs, sponsors of the event, academicians, industry partners, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Before I propose the vote of thanks, there is a message from Honorable Raksha Mantri which I will read out, then I propose the vote of thanks. The message is, I am delighted to know that Indian National Academy of Engineering, with the support from the Defence Research and Development Organization, is organizing the annual Engineers Conclave 2024. The two themes chosen for the conclave, that is additive manufacturing for defense application and defense manufacturing technologies, are relevant in today's context for national security and the growth of the defense manufacturing sector. The government has laid strong emphasis on Make in India, especially in the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative in defense production. It is heartening to know that many pertinent issues pertaining to the manufacturing for defense sector shall be deliberated from the point of view of the policy formulation. Development of niche and other state-of-the-art indigenous technologies so as to lay the foundation for India to emerge as a strong global player in allied fields. National security is vital to protect the citizens from the global and domestic risks. In modern times, there is an ever-increasing reliance on advanced technologies to develop products and systems for the defense sector. It is wonderful to note that the country's best engineers shall be deliberating on a wide range of topics to advance defense manufacturing technologies and increase the indigenization of the defense sector. These efforts shall be in consonance with the government's vision to reduce India's dependence on foreign sources for military hardware and to establish a robust defense industry. It was my deepest desire to be part of this prestigious conclave. However, due to unforeseen circumstances of national interest, I had to drop out of this program at the last moment. I extend my best wishes to all the engineers on this occasion. I am sure that during the conclave, all participants shall contribute their best to take the country forward. Our Honorable Prime Minister is a strong proponent of self-reliance, and the engineering community has a major role to play to achieve this milestone. Now coming back to my role of convener, it is indeed my proud privilege to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Chief Guest for accepting the invitation to grace the occasion. I just called and he says I am there for one day, inaugural day. Thank you very much, sir. In spite of your busy schedule, my phone call, you have accepted our invitation and you are here and guiding us and taking the way forward in the policy formulation. Thank you very much, sir. I sincerely thank Dr. Samir Veer Kamath, Chairman DRDO, for his guidance and supporting INAE for organizing this Engineers Conclave. Thank you very much, sir. I thank Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE, for his gracious presence and delivering the presidential address. We thankfully acknowledge the efforts made by Sri Rajababu, DG MSS and Sri G.S. Srinivasmurthy, Director DRDL, for their constant encouragement and guidance to conduct this mega event by providing necessary resources and infrastructure. The most important people for any event to be successful are sponsors. I profusely thank all the sponsors for their unwavering support for conduct of this event. I also thank all the lab directors of Hyderabad-based labs and Atomic Energy, NFC, Vinhani, DRDL and all for continuously supporting by way of providing the manpower, by providing the transport requirements and by providing all their participants and delegates. I also thank session chairs, speakers, participants and invitees for their presence and active participation. My special thanks goes to the organizing committee and volunteers. Your hard work, dedication and meticulous planning and ensure that everything runs smoothly. It's behind the scene efforts that truly make an event like this possible. On behalf of INAE and organizing committee, I thank all participants. I hope we will have 2 days of productive deliberations with technically rich outcomes to make India Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The knowledge management consultant, Denham Gray, has said, knowledge is embodied in people gathered in communities and networks. The road to knowledge is via people, conversations, connections, and relationships. Knowledge surfaces through dialogue, and access to knowledge is by connecting to people that know or know who to contact. We hope that this 2-day conclave will serve as a perfect platform for all of you to connect and forge friendships which will help you to grow and empower you with more knowledge in this field of additive manufacturing and defense manufacturing technologies. With this, we have come to the end of the inaugural session.